Lord, please, God, have Trump remove and pull security clearances from James Clapper, James Comey, Susan Rice, Sally Yates, Peter Strzok, Lisa Page, everyone that Democrats would then cry over. Please, God, give Trump the strength and the persistence to pull all their security clearances so that Democrats cry and that CNN claims that Trump is Genghis Khan. Lord, please allow Democrats to open their hearts to the fact that Hillary Clinton's email server that was unencrypted for 3 months as she traveled to speak to Chinese officials and Russian officials, unencrypted for 5 months, was hacked by China and the whole planet, including the Special Access Program and top secret intelligence. Finally, Lord, and I'll be praying later on, as will everyone here, please give Jeff Sessions the fortitude, the finally the understanding, the strength, the courage to finally be a man and just, go where the evidence takes him. We'll see about that. I know that you can't stop global warming right this second or world peace, but having Jeff Sessions show some courage, well, that might be too much for even you, Lord. Thank you, everybody. To my amazing subscribers, thank you so very much. I just want to my super chat, thank you. As always, you are absolutely wonderful and you give me every incentive to rock these live streams. Okay, so the FBI has now stated, oh, well, there's no evidence. Meanwhile, they're using the Steele dossier that said Trump was bodily fluids rained upon Trump. You see that, like, do Democrats see the hypocrisy, the irony, the unbelievable double standard? They're using a Steele dossier where BuzzFeed is suing the DNC because it's being sued, and Christopher Steele is being sued, and Fusion GPS is being sued, and the dossier we know from Lanny Davis that Michael Cohen was never at Prague, and none of the major claims have been substantiated. It was purchased by Hillary Clinton. If the tables were turned, they would never stand for it. And actually, the tables are turned in a way. We have the Inspector General saying her server all her emails were forwarded. We have all forwarded to a foreign entity, not Russia. That's not good enough. We have public record knowledge that her server was unencrypted for close to 5 months. She used an AT&T email account, then a ClintonEmail.com account. And it's still not enough. It's still not enough for them. They need proof, but they don't need proof about Trump and the hotel room and Michael Cohen in Prague. They'll go ahead and they'll believe salacious, unverified rumors written in what's called a dossier, which is a compilation of gossip in note form from Christopher Steele, who was paid by Hillary Clinton. Oh, I'm sorry. Clinton funneled the money through her law firm to then pay for a direct campaign expenditure, which is against the Federal Election Commission. I wrote about that. If they don't get her for the Espionage Act, they'll get her for deliberately violating campaign finance laws. I wrote about that in the Daily Caller. But the hypocrisy, the double standard is unbelievable. You have a situation where Hillary Clinton And they say, well, she's not in the news anymore. Yeah, she's just as relevant as when she was running. The Clinton Foundation is an ongoing FBI criminal probe right now, ongoing. And you have evidence that her server was hacked. You even have the FBI saying, oh, yeah, it's very likely that foreign adversaries gain control. I mean, it's just basic logic. You don't have to go out on a limb and say an unencrypted server was hacked. An unencrypted server that contained classified intelligence. It's not going out on a limb saying that it was hacked. So the FBI is like, well, we don't have proof. FBI pushes back on unfounded Trump claim. Well, where are the claims with evidence regarding Trump Russia? The NSA being moderately confident is actually less convincing than the IG, Charles McAuliffe, and Louis Gohmert explaining to Strzok that, hey, you had a Secretary of State with a server in her basement. That is absurd in and of itself. That makes no sense at all. Who deletes 30,000 emails that were yoga and thank you, Eric H526. Yoga and wedding planning, whatever. So, to my moderators, thank you so very much. I have the best moderators, but FBI pushes back on unfounded Trump claim. Oh, but you know what Louis Gohmert should have paid for a dossier. Trump should have paid for a dossier that said Clinton's emails were hacked. This way, the FBI would have taken it seriously. I mean, that's really what we've come to. If Trump had paid for a dossier that said Hillary Clinton's emails were hacked, well, oh my God, there would have been justice. But let's go ahead. The FBI on Wednesday pushed back on an unfounded claim by President Trump that Hillary Clinton's emails were hacked by China, saying it found no evidence that the private service she used while Secretary of State had been compromised. Well, of course they didn't find evidence. Of course they didn't find evidence. They didn't look. They didn't even know how she transferred the top secret intelligence from JWICs. Then the Washington Post, Trump firing Jeff Sessions looks more likely than ever. Here's the storm that awaits. Oh my God. Finally. That would be amazing. President Trump likes to talk about firing people, and apparently he's been doing it again with Jeff Sessions. Do it to me one more time. Just give me one more chance to fire Sessions. Although that could be dismissed as Trump flying off the handle again. Here he is, he's a crazy guy. Context is important. The context here is that Senate Republicans appear to be warming to the idea. Please, God. Please, Lord. If you must fire Sessions, find someone else with the courage to simply go where the evidence takes them regarding a basement server that was unencrypted with top secret and special access program intelligence that was illegally transferred from Cybernet, JWICs, and SCIFs. Thank you, Lord. The context here is that Senate Republicans appear to be warming the idea. Senator Lindsey O'Graham. Lindsey O'Graham. I didn't know his middle name was O. John O'Brien. Lindsey O'Graham once said there would be holy heck to pay. Holy heck. If Trump fired his attorney general. Why? That would be fantastic. That would be amazing. That would be absolutely amazing. That would be the best. That would be the best thing to happen, because if you fire Sessions, and today I don't usually commend Adam Schiff, and I'm not really commending him, but I have to. He talked a lot of, manure, okay, He talked, and it was like, and you know what he said today? You want to know what Adam Schiff said today? He said like, you're president. You have the Justice Department and FBI, Trump. Go give it your best shot, buddy. Give it your best shot, buddy. And let me tell you something. It was one of the few times that Democrats actually said something that made sense. And Trump has to respond. Trump's administration has to respond. Because Sessions is like, well, go ahead. You control the government, don't you? Huh? Don't you? He's taunting Trump. And I hate to say it, but with Sessions, and I'm hoping this is a charade, and I'm hoping Sessions will prove everyone wrong. Either way, she's going to get indicted. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And when it does happen, just like when I said Tony Podesta would be under criminal investigation, and I wrote about that, just like I said, the major thing, that Clinton would lose the election, and she did. She'll get indicted. And I'm on RT Crosstalk saying that here I am. Hold on one second. Let's go ahead.
The GOP will keep control of the Senate and keep control of the House, and they're going to limp into 2020. Trump, unless there's something, God forbid, that's just unforeseen, Trump will easily defeat Democrats in 2020.
And here is my Twitter link. You can go, the Gab link is there also. So 422 people. And it's like, there, go ahead, subscribe to me on Gab, Twitter, Minds, BitChute, Steemit. And, I mean, I stated a couple of months back, May 31st on RT, and I said, they're not going to, this whole nonsense, look, there's not going to be a blue wave, okay? Not going to be a blue wave. Ain't going to happen. There's a hashtag DemExit before there was a hashtag walkaway. People hate the media, and people hate government enough to want to vote for overarching government. Now, I would simply, if I was still on the left, I would say, look, own it. Because I was never really given an estimate, or I never really bothered, to tell you the truth, to just look into how much this policy would cost the country. At least they didn't have the Marketa study saying that it would double, even doubling personal income and corporate taxes is not enough to pay for single payer. Okay, so, but they should own it. And what I mean by own it is simply say, look, we're going to double taxes. We're going to double taxes, and you'll get free health care. But you'll get something for doubling the taxes. You'll get something for it. And it's like, they don't own it. They don't own it. Trump owns, he's like, you know what? Make it part of the budget. Let's go ahead. I need Democrats to help me fund this. So he's talking about and he's trying to find other ways to fund the wall. Whether you agree or disagree with the wall, if you can go ahead, Papa D, somewhere in the distant mist of a couple of weeks we've been hanging out, I recall that something prompted me to say, this will circle back to China. Well, Papa D, I mean, you're 100% right, but also, like, China is the power, not Russia. Russia is not the power. That first of all, China is not our enemy. Russia is not our enemy. Okay, they're not even. I wouldn't even call China an adversary, and I wouldn't call Russia an adversary. JW. I wonder how transparent Obama will appear pleading the fifth before Congress. JW, that would be fantastic. I'm not sure that will take place, but I think that Obama and Michelle Obama are waiting for Hillary Clinton to get indicted. I believe that they will eventually take complete control of the Democratic Party. But JW, that would be awesome. Papa D, I would say that it's that not only did Robert Gates call this, that it's almost certain that China it's almost certain that China hacked her server. So it's like why wouldn't they? So you have this, the left needs ironclad proof. With Trump, it's never give him the benefit of the doubt about things that have nothing to do with national security. It is not national security to talk about the crime. Alexander M. Gonzalez, Ron DeSantis is not going to win in November after his racist remark on television. Florida's flipping blue. Don't mislead your Trump supporters. I don't think DeSantis is going to lose. I think DeSantis is going to win. I don't think he said anything racist. I don't see why everything has to be looked. I mean, Alexander M. Gonzalez, Hillary Clinton used a 3 a.m. ad that was deemed racist by a Harvard sociologist, where it was like, do you really want Obama taking care of your children? Do you at 3 a.m.? And we know that 3 a.m. in the morning, she got a call and she's like, yeah, no security, no problem. Benghazi, like, everything was in flames, But Alexander M. Gonzalez, they're now like, I don't see anything he said that was racist. He was talking, he said, he used the word like, I don't, we can't monkey around with, all the good things that are taking place. And then people are like, oh, you see, it was code. It was some kind of insult. I'm like, how does that even work? Like Florida, how many times did Florida? Okay, Florida, I want to see. They voted Obama twice, I think. Did they? I think they did. Okay. All right, so let's see. 270 to win. Okay, so yeah, 2008 and 2012, they voted for President Obama twice. So with all due respect, Alexander, they voted for President Obama twice. How on earth could suddenly, because the thing is, it's not enough to just say nowadays, like if I was on CNN and like Don Lemon said like, oh, but it was racist, I'd be like, well, how does it help Trump voters? How does it help DeSantis to make a statement with the underlying meaning? We know his opponent is a black man, but a black man won Florida in 2008 and 2012. It doesn't help Trump or DeSantis or anyone else. They're like, oh my God, all his dog whistles. Like, no, people don't vote because they're like, oh, finally a racist. Oh, I'm going to vote Trump. He's speaking like the real way, I think. Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania voted for Hillary. They have not voted for a Republican in a presidential election since the 80s. They voted Bill Clinton twice. They voted for me twice. They can't be all that bad. So hold on here. DeSantis, let's go ahead. DeSantis. Go ahead. I want to see what he said. I do not see Andrew Gillum winning, primarily also because there's an actual FBI investigation in Tallahassee. What we know and don't know about the FBI investigation hanging over Andrew Gillum's campaign. Just a few months into the Tallahassee mayor's run, FBI agents delivered a subpoena to his city hall in June 2017, requesting thousands of pages of record from key players in the city government. The investigation has since dogged Gillum's campaign, and this is the Tampa Bay Times. What is Gillum's connection to the case? Since in 2015, FBI came to town posing as businessmen considering investments in the city of Tallahassee. The three men who reportedly identified themselves, spent months cozying up to city officials. The FBI investigation, based in part on undercover, has yielded several rounds of subpoenas, but no charges yet. So this is, and then Gillum's response, his rebuttal was, well, look what Trump is doing with Mueller. It's like, well, Mueller, there is no evidence of Trump-Russia collusion, and it's not even, and there's no evidence of anything. There might be evidence. I'm not even saying if Gillum is guilty. I don't know. It could be that he's completely innocent, but there's still something that has direct involvement with Gillum. There's nothing to do. So one official in the crosshairs lobbyist Corey was a longtime Gillum friend. Okay, cut ties with him last year. In the community development, so according to Democrat, Corey became close with Miller. Scheduled meeting with Gillum. So, I mean, it sounds like there's nothing here. So I'm actually on the side of Andrew Gillum here. I don't see, it doesn't sound like Andrew Gillum did anything wrong. It sounds like there's people around him who did shady things. Still not good, because it's a little bit different than, oh, the DNC got hacked. It's still just a little bit different. Yeah, no, I agree with you, Alexander. I'm on Andrew. Okay, so I would rather have DeSantis, just because I don't want any Democrat winning ever. And other reasons too. I mean, I don't want the Democratic Party to say, oh, well, this is Bernie's new evolution, and we're okay with it. Look, we're winning. I think that Bernie's new reincarnation is not good for anyone. That's a whole other story. Also, I want to get to the bottom of Spygate. I want to have neoconservatives out of, not just the Democratic Party, out of politics. That doesn't happen with Democrats winning. A whole lot of other reasons. But the thing is, like, I agree with you. So, Alexander, I do agree with you. So, Alexander Gillum, I don't see any problem with the FBI issue. It's not a good issue because it's completely different from Mueller. Mueller was started from James Comey's classified memos. But the whole DeSantis, what he said was racist. Like, how is this? Hold on. Let's go ahead. So that's CNN politics. Like, Florida's GOP gubernatorial nominee says a vote for his black opponent would monkey this up. How ridiculous can you get from CNN, which is like the merchant of fake news? That is not what he said, but let's go ahead and actually listen to. You're talking about Florida that voted for Obama twice. How is it that, first of all, I don't view any human being, I don't view black people as like incarnations of any animal, monkey, whatever. I don't even see that. I don't see how that is even, I understand how it's been used as a racist term, but I don't see that. I don't think anyone else sees that in the country. And I don't see how DeSantis would even benefit. So you have to prove how he benefits from using that language. I just, you know, let me see if I can. I need to find the actual. How does it even benefit though? That's the thing. So Ron DeSantis. Trying to find. I can't even find the. I cannot find. I cannot find the actual clip. Oh, here. Is this it? I mean, it's so twisted and convoluted.
How do you plan to beat them?
Well, look, I mean, this is Florida elections are always competitive, and you know, this is a guy who, although he's much too liberal for Florida, I think he's got huge problems with how he's governed Tallahassee. You know, he is an articulate spokesman for those far left views, and he's a charismatic candidate. And you know, I watched those Democrat debates. None of that was my cup of.
He's an articulate spokesman. He's a charismatic candidate. So I'm waiting to see. I'm waiting to see the most horrific statement of all time. Clinton's 3 a.m. ad was an overt, you know, an overt, not just like a dog whistle, but like an overt, like racist ad. But here.
But I mean, he performed better than the other people there. So we've got to work hard to make sure that we continue Florida going in a good direction. Let's build off the success we've had on Governor Scott. The last thing we need to do is to monkey this up by trying to embrace a socialist agenda with huge tax increases and bankrupting the state. That is not.
So compliment. And the phrase monkey this up, how on earth does anyone correlate that to an overt attempt at utilizing racism? How does it even? That's why the left is like completely bonkers, and they're going to lose, and they're going to be like, oh, you know, why did we lose? Oh, it must be. And then they can either double down and say everyone's racist, because there is racism that exists. There is racism. That's not it. That's not it. That's the thing. Like, there is sexism. You could, like, I don't see a lot of it, but there is all these things. The whole context was he was complimenting Andrew Gillum. And then, of course, the media, and it's still not going to help because he's going to win Florida, DeSantis. Most of Florida loves Trump. So it's like, I don't know if there's a poll. I don't know if there's a poll, but it's also the thing is, like, there is racism. That's not an example of racism. Like, you've used the phrase monkeying around before, and when I'm saying monkey this up, well, I don't see it. It's possible that he could. It is possible that he could have been, you know, deliberately utilizing it for a subliminal to let people know that, hey, there's a person who's not white running against me. But it's like, Obama won Florida twice. So it's just, so there you go. I mean, Mark Skog, I feel bad for Alexander. Well, it's okay. Like, thank you, Mark. Thank you, Mark Skug. I'm just glad that there are Bernie voters who still watch me. But here, a dog. But my whole thing's a dog. Thank you, Mark, as always. But a dog whistle for what? Like, people are going to vote regardless. They already know that Andrew Gillum is a black man. What benefit, what possible benefit could have taken place? And the beginning of the overall context is that he is saying he's articulate, he's charismatic, he won. We can't mess this up. I've heard the phrase used before. It's not like, when did it suddenly become a racist phrase? I think it's like beyond, the campaign issues. So the campaign issues, a clarification. So let's go ahead. Campaign issues clarification. President Obama won Florida twice. So I don't really. DeSantis campaign. And how does it benefit? That's my whole thing. Ron DeSantis clarifies after taking heat for warning voters not to monkey this up. We've got to work hard. The last thing we need is to monkey this up, trying to embrace a socialist agenda with the huge tax increases and bankrupting the state. So where was...
Hello, Earth.
Oh, Lord.
Hello.
I don't care. Racist dog whistle, but you don't need a dog whistle. Like, Hillary Clinton needed dog whistles to win in 2008. She needed that dog whistle. Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton have used dog whistles since the beginning of their, since the execution of Ricky Ray Rector. Mark Skog, thank you. It makes no sense. Like, a dog whistle, when a politician uses a dog whistle, they want to say something racist, but they can't, to get voters. But DeSantis doesn't need to do that. It wouldn't even help him, because Florida went to the first black president we've had twice, beat 2 white men. The remark drew instant fire from Democrats because they're going to go ahead and latch on to anything. Then DeSantis dismissed the claims of racial dimension as absurd, which it is. Ron DeSantis was obviously talking about Florida not making the wrong decision to embrace the socialist policies. So now we can't say any words for fear that they'd be viewed as racist? It makes no sense. I mean, for me, it makes no sense. But, I mean, the actual state went Trump. They're going to vote for DeSantis, not because people are racist. You can't say a state that voted twice for President Obama suddenly became racist because of Trump. The whole, like, Trump is racist and he's using racism, it's like, there's no facts to back it up. There's no evidence that suddenly within a year, people became racist because they hated Hillary Clinton. So which one is it? Was it Russia? Is it the Green Party? Is it racism? Is it misogyny? Is it now Bernie Bros? Because if it's Bernie Bros, Andrew Gillum is a Bernie Sanders-backed candidate. And so, I don't know. I just, everything now, everything has like, it's just too much, and that's why Democrats will lose. Tamara Friedman, I'm in Florida, and now so many Trump supporters, they are afraid to speak out. This is the hate machine in action. Yeah, and Tamara Friedman, like, you're 100% right. And they'll what's going to happen is they're going to speak out. Trump voters are going to speak out in elections. They're going to go ahead. Tamara Friedman, thank you so very much. They're going to go ahead and speak out during elections. I just don't see like every single thing. Tamara Friedman, thank you as always. You're absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much as always. Everything is now twisted to be racist, to be Russian, to be sexist, to be just own up to, if you lost, you lost because of these policies, because of this, because of something tangible. President Obama was president for 8 years. And it's like there's hate everywhere. I have anti-Semitic trolls from a hardcore and a person who hates Jewish people on YouTube. They come to these, but like, I understand it's very different from the racism or the plight of many African Americans in the country. I'm not comparing anything, but everyone is going to find something to hate about somebody, and it'll never change. Like, the left is like, oh, I'm going to condemn this and I condemn that. Bernie Sanders supporters are not afraid to speak out. Alexander, when I was, let's put it this way, people wrote hit pieces on me because I was a Bernie supporter. When he was a threat, they attacked him and anyone who supported him. And yes, you're right, 100%, Alexander, you're 100% right. Like, we were not afraid to speak out, and you're not afraid to speak out. Nobody should be afraid to speak out. But Democrats are going to go ahead and lose the midterms. They're going to lose the House. They're going to lose the Senate. And when they do, I foresee Democrats going up again, doing Bernie voters the way they did the Green Party. Power Stroke Diesel, yes, haters are going to hate. There's always going to be hate. There's always going to be hate. And it's like, my thing is, it takes away from, okay, Trump firing Sessions looks more likely than here's what. He can pick an acting attorney general, Trump, and then he would nominate a full-time replacement. So they're saying, well, you know, if they fired Sessions, you'd have to pick somebody who would be able to be confirmed or already confirmed in some way. Anthony Andrea, can she say she lost due to wearing Chairman Mao outfit? Need to hide those thick angles. Anthony Andrea, thank you. Papa D was avoiding the use of the term muck it up. Yeah, I mean, and this is the type of thing that it's going to be forgotten in 1 week. And DeSantis is like, you know, the whole thing was praising Andrew Gillum, saying that he's intelligent, he's charismatic, he won, but he's, you know, socialism is bad, da 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 da. So Z said, hey, Trumpy poo, guess what I got? Papa D. Alexander Gonzalez, yes, he did. I posted him saying on Facebook. I thank you, Alexander Gonzalez. I didn't see that super chat, but yeah, so there's a clarification, but like, I think the left is slowly eating itself up, because if this is an issue now, why wasn't it an issue when Clinton? Papa D. So, I mean, you have a situation now where they're like, there's such double standards. They elected and cheated for somebody whose entire political career is based on dog whistles. The entire political career. And it's different if someone says, well, that's offensive to me. That I get that. I understand. But then what if a person of the same ethnicity, nationality, race says, no, it's not offensive to me. I don't care about it. Then what happens? Adam Bomb 31458, Lindsey Graham problem, Sessions replace not Lindsey Graham problem. Sessions replace not approved if he fires Mueller. Well, that's Adam Bomb 31458. Yes. I mean, the thing is, Trump can go ahead and fire Mueller without Graham or anyone else. Once Republicans control the House and the Senate, I find it because 88% of Republicans approve of Trump. That is more than like any president since FDR, something crazy like that. So Adam Bomb 31458, you've made a great point. But I do think that if 88% of Democrats, if 88% of Republicans support Trump and they win the House and the Senate, it would be political, suicide to just be like, he's basically going to go ahead and do what he wants after that. I think he should. If he needs to fire Sessions, I think he should fire Sessions. With or without Sessions, hopefully Sessions is actually like, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. We know what's going on, But I think that ultimately what's going to happen is that Democrats are going to eat themselves up. Trump, you can keep your job. Vote vote Trump. Angela Chung, that's actually a great, from you can keep your doctorate to you can keep your job. Absolutely. Angela, thank you so very, very much. Thank you as always for watching. You can keep your job. Exactly. Vote Trump 2020. And that's the thing also. Tamara Friedman brought this up. There's a lot of Trump people. When I've told my friends and there's some people like, I can't believe you. They don't want to talk to me. That's fine. If you don't talk to somebody because they're voting for Trump, that says something about you as a person. Alexander M. Gonzalez, that poll does not ask Republicans if 1 cent of a tax increase. That's the thing. Progressives are now almost deceiving themselves. The polls say this. No, it doesn't. They're not in favor of it. The Republicans are not in favor of tax. If Medicare for all means doubling taxes, they're not, and with all due respect, in my humble opinion, they're not in favor of it. Let's go ahead and look at that poll. So Medicare for all poll. Okay, poll. Okay, morning consult. Americans are more likely to support Medicare for all than healthcare for all. So it's like all of these polls are nothing more than like semantic games. Like, well, do you like good things? Yeah, I like good things. Oh, these people like good things. And we like good things too, so we're going to make good things. Okay, so let's go ahead. I want to find a poll. It's the poll here. So 70% of Americans support Medicare for all. 70%? Oh my God. A Reuters survey. Okay, so the Mercatus study says, what is going on here? Okay. Off. Okay. This thing. My God. It's annoying. Okay, so where are the questions of the poll? I'm trying to find the questions. Would you support the following? These are the only questions that are asked. It doesn't say anything about taxes. I'm looking at the poll here, the Reuters. Well, hold on, let's see. All right, so it explains what Medicare for All is, that, yeah, your taxes would be increased, but it doesn't say by how much. The system would be financed, what left-wing Democrats want. The system would be financed by tax increases on the wealthiest. No, that would not be enough, according to the Mercatus study. So it's like they're like living in a fantasy world. These polls are meaningless. Yeah, but when you say everyone is spending 49 trillion on private insurance, but everyone has it. You're talking about 300 million people with different Medicare would save, but it's not. But it have different. It's not one size fits all. Out of pocket costs for Medicare are 5,000 to 7,000. Out of pocket costs for the ACA, the maximum is like 7,000 now. There's some people who pay $100 a month. There's some people who are making over 150 who don't want to be taxed 60 to 70%, paying only 100 or 200 a month for health premiums. Not everyone is in. Well, the whole country's doing this, and the whole country would save money, but individuals are not the whole country. So then they ask. I mean, well, of course you're going to say, would you support or oppose the following? Democrats, 80% support, 50% Republican. Yeah, but you're asking one question of people. Free college tuition. Well, I actually agree. I think that's actually very important. I actually do agree. Free college tuition, because you're going to go ahead. You're going to foster business. Abolishing ICE. Not even 50% of Democrats support that. That's funny. But there's no taxes associated with abolishing ICE. I guess there could be, but when you tell people you're going to get something good for free, of course they're going to say, yeah. That's the thing. If the questions are not, if you double your personal income tax, would you support it? Double corporate income tax. What would happen to the economy if you doubled the taxes right now? Nobody is honest. That's why they'll lose. When you're not talking about, well, no, I'm not going against. I don't know if that was. It's not. I've gone against my audience many times. Well, not most of my audience, but I've explained my thoughts on Q. I don't think it's rational. I think it's dangerous. I've explained my thoughts on McCain. Obviously, I think that his legacy is a negative legacy, but I wasn't. I don't know. I saw something, but I mean, in terms of Medicare for all, Democrats should simply own it and say, look, the Mercatus study says doubling of taxes. So we're going to run on doubling taxes. Just run on doubling taxes. I mean, that's the thing, Michael C., thank you. I mean, this is the thing. Own it. Own it. And that's why Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez should debate Ben Shapiro. Because you're going to have a star on the right and a star on the left, and they're going to go at it. Max Morrow, I transitioned from private insurance to Medicare, $16,000. Wow. Medicare, private insurance under $7,000. Wow. Max, thank you so very much. Thank you, Max. Wow. 16 grand. Wow. Yeah, let's say like they say Medicare for all as if there's no out-of-pocket costs. Rhonda, Iowa girl, thank you so very much as always. You're absolutely wonderful. Everyone that would cheat on taxes. Employers would pay under the table. That's true. I never thought of that. That's true. And you double corporate income taxes still wouldn't be enough. The Mercatus study right here. Then you have like, well, there's millions of people who don't have access. Like, it's not that they don't have access. It's that they can't afford it. That's why they don't have access. So, let's see. Consider that doubling all current projected and federal income and corporate income taxes would be insufficient to finance the added federal costs of the plan. A doubling. Double all federal individual corporate income taxes. Doubling all current projected federal individuals. So, I mean, a doubling, it says that. You know, 1 second. So, I mean, here is the Mercatus study. Here's the link to it. Rhonda, Iowa girl, thank you so very much. I mean, at what point do you just own up to, and I'm not even like, my whole thing is end all wars. Well, but see, the thing is that it's not going to fly with Democratic Party. So Democrats are the most hawkish. I mean, that's the reason I love Bernie. But some of these organizations, I'm not going to pick which one. I don't want to start anything. Just talks about Israel. Doesn't talk about anything else other than Israel. Doesn't talk about bringing American soldiers home. So, I mean, I want to bring American soldiers home, have them home for Christmas with their families. That's what I want. You know. It's just, you know, the interesting thing is there's more evidence, far more evidence of Clinton's server being hacked and of the Clinton Foundation being a money laundering scheme. But they want an actual note saying so from Clinton. Whereas with Trump, there's no anecdotal or even circumstantial evidence. Or anecdotal, there is circumstantial evidence. And yet they're like, it's happening, it's happened, it happened. He colluded with Russia. He colluded with Russia. It's like, no, he didn't. No, he didn't. And everything is like, oh, gotcha. Oh, my God, I gotcha. CNN is the worst. Like, CNN is just a train wreck of everything wrong in politics, not just left-wing politics. It's just like everything wrong in politics. CNN was pumping the Iraq war, and then 10 years later, or 15 years later, it's pumping a lot of craziness. It's just like an entertainment network, which isn't entertaining. Rhonda, Iowa girl, thank you as always. Trump. Oh my. So yeah, I mean, like, I don't understand. I can't wait to not only to tell everyone, like, told you so, but I want to see, like, what does the left do when they don't get the House? When they don't get the House and they don't get the Senate, because they need 23 seats. So you actually do need a blue wave to get 23 seats. They need to do better than they did in 2016. They need to do better. The Senate elections in 2016. Of course, that I want to see what's the turnout in the House turnout, Democratic turnout. So the 2014 House midterms for the House, the turnout was lowest in 70 years. How on earth are they going to go ahead? That's interesting. So, of course, it doesn't give, it's like unbelievable. The 10 lowest participation states. This is hilarious. Texas, you need high participation, was second. New York was fifth. New Jersey was ninth, lowest. And then highest, you have like third highest, Alaska, Colorado. At least you can go Republican. Well, Colorado, maybe not. I mean, there's still a lot of places within Colorado that are Republican, but I don't know. Let me go. I just want to see. 2014 midterm, lowest since World War II. I can't, for the life of me, I can't get. Oh, okay. You know what I'll do? So midterms turnout surges for both parties. This is in June. So, I mean, what are they talking about? It's actually just a surge for both parties. More people are more engaged, but that still doesn't help Democrats, because Democrats historically don't turn out to vote. Republicans do. And it's different from a special election. A surge in voter enthusiasm across the millions. Okay, so however, Republican voters are also showing up in higher numbers than in previous midterm cycles. A sign that GOP's fate will be sealed not by apathetic conservatives, but by voters open to persuasion. Oh, right. If you're a GOP voter, you're not voting for, you don't hate Trump that badly. So 13.8 million Democrats have voted in special elections. They've lost 8 out of 11. 12.3 million Republicans have voted, and they've won 8 out of 11. The difference, though, being that every single major publication, every MSNBC, CNN, major news network, New York Times, Washington Post, Hollywood, late night talk shows, everyone hates Trump. And still, Republicans still doing well, and they pumped a whole lot of money. Democrats did. And they gave a whole lot of positive airtime, and they still lost. And like you have like Ossoff in Georgia, who was up in the polls, and he still lost. So, you know. They lost 8 out of 10. And that's still with, they're going to get their behinds handed to them. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very, very, very much. You're all absolutely wonderful. To my super chat, thank you so very, very, very much. God bless. I'll hopefully see you later on. This has been awesome. And they want absolute certainty about, you know, Clinton getting hacked, but they really don't care about whether or not Trump is guilty, or they just want to hurt him. It's a taxpayer-funded opposition research that has nothing to do with Trump Russia. It should be, Trump should fire Mueller the day after midterms, the day, and be like, hey, look, you know what? You owe your victories to me, Republicans. Because Democrats are like, well, the Republicans will surely, flip on Trump. Everyone's going to flip on Trump. Nobody flips on Trump. Rhonda, Iowa girl, good night. Everyone, good evening, good night. Thank you so very much. And I hope to be back a little later. If not, I will see you tomorrow. Thank you all, and God bless.